Big Easy Chef here. This time, we're going to be cooking corned beef and cabbage. This is an all-time favorite. This is a meal that's great any time of the year. You don't have to wait until St. Patty's Day to enjoy this dish. You're going to love this once you make it. It comes out the best ever. Tender corned beef, cabbage, potatoes, carrots, and turnips. Let's not waste any more time. Why don't you and I run into that kitchen and see what's a-shaking and get to baking. Let's start with a cured corned beef. This one I'm using has been cured from a tri-tip roast. If you want to know how to cure your own corned beef, I have a video and I've linked it in the description below. You should plan your corned beef the day before. This corned beef I have is about 2.5 pounds. It will feed about 4 people or 3 really hungry people. If you cure your own or buy it from a store, you'll need to rinse off your corned beef with plenty of cool water. Now place your corned beef in a bowl and cover it with cool water. Set it in the fridge for 3 hours. After the 3 hours, drain the water, add fresh water, and place back in the fridge for another 3 hours. After the 3 hours, remove from the fridge and drain again and replace with more cool water. Place back in the fridge and allow the corned beef to set overnight. The next day, remove your corned beef from the fridge and drain the water. Place the corned beef in a large pot. Now by flushing the corned beef with all of that water, you're going to get rid of a lot of the salt the corned beef was cured with. And so the corned beef isn't going to be too salty and the flavor of the spices are still going to be there. Add enough water to cover the corned beef. I'm using about 1/2 gallon of water. Place the corned beef on a burner. Turn the burner on high and bring to a boil. Once the water is boiling, then reduce the heat to medium-low to maintain a low boil. Cover the pot and allow it to cook for about 2 hours. While your corned beef is cooking, peel some carrots. I'm using 3 large carrots. Once the carrots are peeled, then cut them into large chunks and cut the larger ends into half. You want your carrots to be around the same size and diameter. This way they will cook the same amount of time to become tender. Okay, with the carrots done, peel some turnips. A word about turnips. If you haven't eaten turnips, I have to tell you, they taste really great. They have about the same flavor and texture as a potato, and they're very healthy. They contain a lot of vitamins that are good for you. So be sure and try some. You'll be glad you did. I'm using 3 large turnips. Once they're peeled, cut the turnips into large chunks. Now you want to peel some potatoes. About 3 or 4 large ones should be just about perfect. With the potatoes peeled, cut them into large chunks, keeping them all about the same size. I have a medium head of cabbage. You may want to peel off those outside leaves and discard them. Cut the head of cabbage into half. Now cut each half into 4 pieces, leaving the core in the cabbage. This will allow the cabbage to remain in large pieces. Now after the corned beef has been cooking for 2 hours, it's time to add the carrots, turnips, and potatoes to the pot. Drop them in easy. Be careful not to splash the hot water all around. You could use a slotted spoon to lower them into the hot water. With the carrots, turnips, and potatoes added to the pot, cover the pot and maintain that low boil for an hour. Okay, now the hour's passed. Check the corned beef to make sure it's nice and tender. Place a fork into the corned beef. It should go in easy. Remove the corned beef from the pot and cover the corned beef as it needs to rest for at least 15 minutes or longer before slicing. Now add your cabbage to the pot. Cover your pot and bring back to a low boil and cook for at least 15 minutes or until the cabbage is tender but still firm. Okay, now remove the cabbage, carrots, turnips, and potatoes from the pot. Place them in a large bowl. I like keeping the cabbage separate from the carrots, turnips, and potatoes. Okay, now get that corned beef and slice it up. You can see just how nice and pink this corned beef is. The pink is from the curing process. It's very well done. Also, notice I'm cutting the corned beef against the grain. This corned beef is going to be so nice and tender. full of flavor, and those potatoes, carrots, turnips, and cabbage are going to be infused with the flavor of the corned beef. Oh, it just doesn't get any better than that. Now you can sprinkle a little salt and pepper over your plate and maybe even melt some butter on those vegetables. Oh, and you have to have this mustard horseradish cream sauce. This sauce goes perfect on the corned beef, or any type of beef that you would use horseradish on. I made a video on how to make this cream sauce. You can find the link down below in the description. You can also find free printable recipes and instruction for corned beef and cabbage at my website, thebigeasychef.com. Okay, you know what time it is. It's time to dig in. Now dip that meat into that sauce. Oh, that's so good. I think I need to go find a slice of rye bread and maybe a nice cold glass of some dark beer. Okay, now you can make this great corned beef and cabbage. Remember what they say, you are what you eat, so eat healthy. Until next time, I am the Big Easy Chef.